That introduction. My name is Liz, and I am going to be your guide today to the Chicago Children's Museum. So welcome, bienvenidos, welcome, bienvenue, welcome, konnichiwa, ni hao. So we are going to be exploring 3 spaces, and in those spaces, you're going to meet some of my other friends from the museum. So first, we're going to play in Zoom Room. Then we're going to check out a brand new sculpture here at the museum. And then lastly, we're going to take a daring climb through our ginormous climber, Cloudbuster. Throughout this webinar, if you ever have any questions, our friend Natalie will be in the chat to help you. So right now I'm going to change my camera around so you can explore the museum in first person. So now we are entering Zoom Room. Zoom Room started back in 2014 when a staff member here wanted to create an exhibit to explore his favorite toy from his childhood, which was Matchbox cars. So as fun as it is to just play with Matchbox cars, you're actually getting an opportunity to learn a lot about science, physical science. How does gravity impact how a car moves? How does the ramps? How does all these different other things that will happen? So to play in this area, I have enlisted my friend, Kim.
Hey, hi everybody, I'm Kim.
So the first track we're going to play on is this one. So with this track, what you can see is there is a gong right here. What Kim and I would like to do is have a car crash into that gong and make a loud noise. So we need to predict which of these tracks will hit that gong. If you would like to play with us today, you could also think at home. Which one of those tracks, the green one or the orange, there's the green one or orange, do you think is going to hit that gong and make a delightful loud noise? Let's see. Kim, which one do you think will hit that gong first?
Liz, I think it's going to be this green track.
You think it's going to be the green track? You know what? Let me take another look. Let's look at what that green track does. It goes down, it goes up, goes down again, and then whoosh. Let's take a look at that orange one. The orange one starts lower, and then it goes the same height up as that green track. Then it goes down. All right. Oh, and you can see we did make it a little easier for ourselves today, because sometimes we have this challenging thingy bob here that will knock your car off the ramp. So
that's the official Zoom Room name.
Thingy-bob. All right. So how about we give that green track a try? Let me get in a good position for us to watch that car zoom. All right, so let's count down from 3, everybody. So everybody at home too. 3, 2, 1. Oh, what happened? Okay, so as scientists, we know sometimes we have to do our experiment more than once. So let's give this a go one more time. All right, are y'all ready to count down from 3? 3, 2, 1. Oh, yes. Did you hear that? So, Kim, did you notice anything that you might have done differently that time?
I did use different cars. So that might also be a variable. The cool thing about Matchbox cars is there's so many different kinds.
Yeah, let's take a look. Oh, that's something else that's really fun about this exhibit. When you come back to the museum, when we do reopen, which we don't know when that's going to be quite yet. Summer is when we're thinking it's going to happen. We have hundreds and hundreds of these cars. So don't worry, when you come to play, you will be able to find a car. So how about we do this one more time, just to see if we can get this to happen again. 3. Oh, are you going to try both? Oh, yeah, we haven't tried the orange one. Kim is going to be daring and try both. 3, 2, 1. Woo! We did it. And let's see what happened with the orange track. See, I think because it started so much lower, it didn't get the acceleration that the green track got, right?
Mm-hmm. That's a good reflection, Liz.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So all of you at home too, feel free to also talk to each other about what you see happening. Why did it work? Why didn't it work? And what's also really fun is in this exhibit, just to give you the full experience, we have talking points up here on the ceiling for you. So if you're with your family and you're like, how can I ask some good questions? You can compara, ¿qué pasa si? What if? Try again. Prueba, test, right? So lots of questions you can ask. So Kim, do you think we should move on to our next track?
Okay. I think we should, Liz. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm really excited about this track. So before I tell you what we're gonna do, oh, and I have to introduce another one of my awesome friends. This is Alex. Alex is gonna help us with this track. Alex is also helping us today by keeping track of our time, which is very important. Okay, so let's think about, what do you think we might be doing here? So we know we have these ramps on both sides, and we're playing with Matchbox cars. Okay, what do you think we're gonna do? That's right, we're gonna crash test them, right? So if you are a car designer, if you're someone who wants to pursue that as a career, you might actually work with crashing cars. So what we want to do is not to prevent a crash. We want to figure out which track to use to cause a crash. So what is your prediction? Which track, orange or blue, do you think is going to cause a car crash? Let's take a look. So again, using physical science, you can look at the angle, how you think going up and down or straight down will impact it. Talk with your family, or just think in your head. What do you think is going to happen? All right, Kim and Alex, which track do you think we should try?
I think we should try the red.
Want to try the red?
I like it because it has this curve here, so I feel like it might go faster.
Yeah, I like it. Let's give the red a try. So should we count down? 3, 2, 1. It was so close. Oh my gosh. We were so close, y'all. All right. So, but yes, let's give this another go. All right, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh. See, this is funny. As the cars move, they get to different places. So where did they land on the floor after you let them go?
Pretty far, right here.
So right there?
Yeah, and I think this is your car, Alex, over here.
Oh, wow.
Where's you got mine?
So do we want to try the red again, or do we want to now try the blue?
I think we should try the blue. Let's do it.
Okay, are we ready?
We're ready.
3, 2, 1. So this time they didn't go quite as far. Like they ended back in our collector. Oh, wow. This car didn't even make it off the track.
Yeah, mine didn't even get off the track.
All right. So again, this is a fun part of this exhibit is the practice, right? Trying again and again. This creates resilience in all of us, right? And also, if you want to pursue science, I have some scientist friends who are often very frustrated if their experiments don't go exactly as planned. So let's see. I think we should try 1 or 2 more times. What do you think, Kim?
Can we change it and have 2 cars on this track and 2 cars on that track? Let's do it.
Oh.
What if we do that?
What if we change the variables? We change the situation by having 2 cars on each one. All right, let's give it a go. All right, 3, 2, 1. They just seem to zoom right past each other.
They are zooming.
They are zooming. Okay. So should we try that one more time?
Let's do one more time.
I think so. Okay.
This is our last chance. Give us all the good vibes.
All right, everybody. All of our friends at home, let's try and see if we can get these cars to crash. All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Kim.
But we can keep trying.
We could keep trying.
When the museum opens, come on and show us how it's done.
Yes, exactly. We could use your help. So that was a nice end to this crash testing area. So we do have 2 crash test areas. So if you do visit the museum and this area is being used, we also have this area over here. And now I'm going to introduce you to one of my favorite parts of this exhibit. And this is really where I can imagine the designer thinking about all of the things they wish they could do to play with Matchbox cars. Look at all these tracks. Wow. So we're not going to show you all of these tracks because frankly, I think it's going to be more fun for you to come and discover how these tracks work yourselves. But I still like to give you a little glimpse. So the last thing we're going to do in Zoom Room, and then I'm going to show you our brand new sculpture, is this race right here. So you can see we have these different colored tracks and then these flags. So you can see which car wins the race by which flag moves first. So let's take a look at all these different colored tracks. I want you to predict which one you think might win the race. So again, I'll give you a view from the side as well. Do you think the blue one, the red, or the yellow, or purple? So you want to think about the physical attributes. How does it look? Is it flat? Does it go up and down? Is it smooth? Well, this one, we don't have any textures on the tracks. We used to have that.
It's coming back.
It's coming back? Okay. So, whoop. All right, let me get to a place where we can see. So do you have in your head, everybody at home, which one you want to say is going to go down the track first? All right, let's count down from 3. 3, 2, 1. Did you see who got first? I'm pretty sure that was purple. Woohoo! And then I think I saw blue shortly behind. All right. And if you look closely up here, I want to show something pretty nifty. A way that we can make this test accurate is this opening here. Kim doesn't have to hold all the cars. What she does is she puts it in front of that, and then can you point to the lever?
Yeah, it's right here.
So there's a lever that she pulls. So you could come with a bunch of friends and decide which car you think is going to go through first. So because we're scientists and we test things, let's give it another try. Okay. So on the countdown of 3, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that one I thought I kind of saw yellow go first.
That was quite close.
That was a very close one.
Should we do best 2 out of 3?
Yeah, let's do one more.
One more.
Glad we have all these cars up here.
Hundreds of cars.
Hundreds of cars in this exhibit. So many. All right, are we ready? All right, for the countdown of 3, 3, 2, 1. Oh, see, that seems like it was more similar to the first one.
I think it was purple or yellow.
Yeah, purple or yellow. Woo-wee! That was quite a lot of fun in here, don't you think? Well, thank you so much, Kim and Alex, for helping in Zoom Room. So again, when we do reopen, Zoom Room will be here for you to play in. And now I am going to show you a brand new interactive sculpture that during the pandemic moved to our museum. So here we're passing the first floor of the schooner, and do you see that there? That is our new sculpture that when you come into the museum, if you go up the stairs, you're greeted with it. And I am actually going to let my friend tell you about the sculpture. So Peter, could you introduce ourselves to our friends here?
Yes, hi friends, I'm Peter. I'm the Vice President of Exhibits here at Chicago Children's Museum, and I have the good fortune of working with artists, designers, educators, community members, builders, tinkerers to create interactive exhibits here at the museum. And here we have an interactive hands-on exhibit consisting of a kinetic sculpture, a sculpture that moves. And it was built and created by Andrew Smith from Utah.
Wow.
In this exhibit, children, guests get to learn and play and explore physical science through these hands-on interactives. So why don't we take a look at some of these?
Yeah, I was hoping that maybe you could show us 3 different kinds of simple machines.
I'm sure I can. I know I can, and I maybe even more than that.
Yes.
Why don't we start with this? This is a wedge. Simple machines are devices that can do work and have little or no moving parts, and they make work easier. So this is a wedge. So a wedge works by pushing, force that goes this way, and it separates and moves things this way. Let's take a look at one in the sculpture.
Very cool.
In the sculpture, you can see a wedge placed right here on this track, and our guests can interact by turning this hand crank and bringing the wedge forward. And while it does that, that front flat edge of the wedge is lifting the chain.
Ooh. Do you all see how that wedge is moving through as Peter turns the wheel?
That's a really big chain. It's kind of like a chain on your bicycle.
Yeah.
But much, much larger.
Yeah, definitely looks heavier than a bike chain would be. Oh, and you can turn it both ways. And it looks like, Peter, too, there's something happening below the chain when you do that.
Right. So this has a wedge in it, but it also has there's many simple machines throughout this sculpture, and some of them working together. Here you have what's known as a screw. It's a screw, or an auger screw specifically, and some screws, such as this one, has ridges that are on the outside, and this one, the auger screw, has the ridge that goes into the shaft. So that's something that's a little different.
Very cool.
So you have a combination of the screw and the wedge working together, along with a wheel to lift that chain.
All right. And then I think, too, there was another place that you were showing me earlier about the screw.
That's right. So the next thing we're going to look at is a way that guests can send billiard balls up into the sculpture.
Oh, let's look for the billiard balls, everybody. Let's find those really quick.
They're deep down inside there, and you can see a purple one straight across.
Okay.
And so when you turn this crank, it turns that screw and turns the gear, that gearbox, which is then fed through a belt and wheels and axles to lift the balls up the inclined plane. And an inclined plane is another one of those simple machines.
Oh, wow. Okay. So if you can see where that, I know it's maybe hard to see, but those billiard balls, if you can see that those are moving, and then there's also, I always want to forget the name of the second machine you tell me about, the screw. So there you see the screw moving. Oh, I like the sounds it's making. And now we can watch where these billiard balls are going.
Right, you can see force and motion happening. You can see inclined planes. An inclined plane is like a ramp that helps you bring things up and brings things down. Eventually the balls drop into the vortex and make their way around and get ready for the next guest.
Oh, wow. This is mesmerizing.
There are lots of things to look at and listen to and interact with in this kinetic sculpture. How about if we look at another one? So you have wheel and axle, but when you combine a wheel and axle with a rope, it becomes a pulley. And a pulley helps you lift something up heavy by using gravity by pulling down on the rope. When you combine pulleys, it becomes a block and tackle, and it makes the work even easier. You know, if you're trying to lift something that weighs 100 pounds and you have multiple pulleys, the amount of force is greatly reduced. Let's look at this. This one is here to lift this heavy ship's chain up and down. Let's take a look at a piece of that chain over here.
Whoa, that is massive.
It's quite heavy. It would be on a ship, so it's an anchor up and down. And it is.
Yeah.
Here,
get your workout just lifting that, huh?
Here we have the wheel, so a block and tackle, a set of pulleys, and with a little bit of force from me, I'm able to lift it straight up.
Oh, that looks so much easier. That's really incredible that super heavy chain that you just lifted, now with the aid of a simple machine, the pulleys, you can lift it so much more easily. Look at that. And look how fast you're able to go too. So we've now learned about 3 simple machines, and there's more in this sculpture too, right? Than just the 3?
Yeah, well, we talked about a wheel and axle in the pulleys. Here you can see a very large wheel and axle.
Yes.
So the wheel here that came from irrigation system out in the western states, United States, wheels lessen the amount of friction in order to move something. So this wheel's moving around. It's tied to that piece of a tricycle up there. And on this large wheel is what's known as a cam that takes circular motion and turns it into vertical motion. It's about to bump up on the wheel.
Yeah, if you all look really closely, the wheel isn't perfectly smooth. See at the top as it's coming towards us, there's that's the cam that Peter was talking about that bumps up that tricycle that, from what I understand, then moves that large billiard ball.
Right,
looks
so
like.
And that's our next simple machine after that is the lever. A lever is a length of rod or whatever, different material. Here it's this little bicycle and this piece of sculpture, and there's a fulcrum so that you have a heavier weight on the left side, longer on the right, and the bump pushes it up on the fulcrum, and you have leverage.
Whew.
And we're watching that ball go back and forth.
So you earlier today were also telling me about your favorite part of the sculpture. Could you share your favorite part with me?
Sure. There's a lot of things I like about this. We really enjoyed working with Andrew to bring this here to our guests in Chicago. So, and he has quite a collection of odd materials and pieces to use in his work. This piece I really like. It came from an old elevator. It's a big gearbox that was part of the elevator. So you can imagine the amount of work that machine could do with that large screw, the gears and sprockets that are all attached to that. And so it's quite fun to watch. Another thing that I really like about this sculpture is that Well, sculpture is art that you look at 3 dimensions.
Yes.
Right? You have your height, width, and depth. And you can walk around a sculpture and see it in different ways. And the placement of this sculpture is really unique because you can see it from all different sides in the museum. Should we walk around and look at some of them?
Let's take a walk. That's the beauty, I think, of these virtual tours as well, is that we are able to move. And I do want to take a moment to quickly apologize for my shaky camera skills. I am trying to hold steady, but I get so excited. It's so hard to be still. But here's another great angle.
Right, here we are at the top of our stairs that comes from floor 1 to floor 2. And you can see the large wheel over top of the stair attached to that steel beam and other parts. And we can walk further around and see it from the other areas of the museum. So here, you can walk around and see it from different angles, but you can also see it from underneath as you're coming up the stairs. You can actually see it from the staircase that goes up further, so you can see it from overhead. So really, more than just all the way around, you can see it from below and see it from overhead. So That's really exciting.
That is really exciting. And I also was wondering, does this sculpture have a name yet?
That's a good question. Andrew did not give us a name for his sculpture, and that's okay. And we were thinking that we would love to take suggestions from our guests, from people. And so we're going to be looking at a way soon to let everybody give us some suggestions of names that we can think about and come up with a name for this exhibit and for this sculpture. So I hope that maybe you'll have some ideas and you'll be able to contribute with that.
Yeah, and I just want to let our participants know today too that if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, just look up Chicago Children's Museum. We'll definitely let you know when we're in the process of picking a name, and that's when we'll really need your help, because I think this sculpture deserves a name that matches its awesomeness.
Yes.
And the last thing I'll ask before we move on to our daring climb is I was wondering how long this took to put inside the museum. What was that like?
Well, our friend Andrew Smith, he worked on this for many, many months. I think it was more than a year to create this for us. And we started planning for it even well before that. But then once he came here with the sculpture in different parts, we worked for 20 days straight, assembling it, making sure everything fit together right, it was tightened up well and looked good and worked well. And so, yeah, it took a long time. And then we've been doing other work with it afterwards. But yeah, we worked 20 days straight with Andrew.
That's incredible. Yeah, it's been so exciting to see this new sculpture in our museum. And I cannot wait for our friends to come back to the museum so we can really see how our friends and families here play with it.
I feel the same way.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you so much, Peter, for sharing your knowledge and experience with us. We are now going to move on to our last exhibit.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. Wasn't that exciting? It's so cool to see how things get built and added into the museum. We are now reaching our final experience together, Cloudbuster. So my friend Kim is going to tell us more about it. First, we have to find her. So I know she told me she would be inside the sculpture. So let's look, the climber. So let's look around and see if we spot her. Does anybody see our friend Kim? Oh, I hear Kim. Oh, there she is. Hey, Kim.
Hi, Liz. Yeah, there's a lot going on with this sculpture.
Wow.
It's a primal sculpture. So.
That's true. That's true. Well, you know what, Kim? I am actually going to turn this over to you so you can tell us more about it.
Okay. Whoop, hold on a second, guys. It's getting all blurry. Yep, I think Liz's camera is still, oh, I forgot the word. There we go. Tagged. Now we're going to turn mine on in a moment. Okay. There we go. Oh, keep going back and forth. Okay, friends. So I want to show everybody Cloudbuster, and you probably noticed that Liz and I kept saying sculpture, climber, sculpture, climber. And yeah, it's both. So this is also a collaboration with an artist. His name is Kevin Winters, and he's from Arizona and created this sculpture with us. And it was built by, oh gosh, a team of people in the Chicagoland area. So this is called Cloudbuster. We do have a name for this one. And it is 37 feet tall. So if you think about 2.5 stories. So if you climb the outside of your house and your house was 1 story, 2 stories, plus an attic, that's how big Cloudbuster is. And it weighs about 30 tons. So about 7 average sized elephants. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a climb up Cloudbuster, and I want to show you one of the lookouts, which is pretty neat. So I am actually have a camera on that enables me to use my feet and my hands, because definitely this is an exhibit that's part of the Chicago Children's Museum. It's a little bit harder for adults to climb, but man, those kids have fun. So here I am walking up to the lookout. I mentioned that Cloudbuster is about 2.5 stories tall. However, Cloudbuster, that's inside the Chicago Children's Museum, is inside Navy Pier, and we're actually a little bit higher if you look down into the pier. Another thing that you can find within Cloudbuster are these great things, which are whisper tubes. So these tubes go from inside Cloudbuster to down below. Kind of see right there. So let's see if we can talk to my friend Liz through here. Hey, Liz!
Oh, hey, yeah.
How's the view down there?
It's really cool, but I'm really curious what the view is like from up there.
Oh, come on up. Let's check it out.
Oh, awesome. Okay, up right there.
So as we wait for my friend Liz to climb on up, adjust this a little bit. One thing I want to say that's really cool about our Cloudbuster sculpture is that there are so many ways to interact with it. There are many different ways to get up. There's many ways to climb around. So right now I'm climbing down one of these beautiful mesh metal tubes. We also have this amazing sculpture right here, which has these beautiful, like I like to call portholes. You might notice my voice just changed inside this space. So you can climb up and down. Oh, I think there's like 7 switchbacks on that. That's kind of not my thing. I'm gonna definitely stay in some of the bigger places. Oh, hello, Liz. Oh, how you doing? Oh, Liz, one thing I forgot, but that you have that I would love to point out is Liz has her helmet on. So we do have helmets for the space. One reason why we have helmets is as a precaution. So as you are navigating the space, you can really focus on navigating. And there's definitely some crawls in the space too. So it's a nice precaution for that. Okay, Liz, I was talking a little bit about choices within the space. So there's many different choices you can decide on where to climb. So we could go back where Liz is at, which is a part of these 3 concentric circles, or I was thinking we can go over here, which there is this wooden tube, and we can just climb up that way. Where do you think we should go?
Ooh, I'm thinking the wooden tube sounds really interesting. I'd like to try that.
Okay, let's give it a try. So we're gonna go this way. I mentioned these concentric circles, and the artist we worked with, Kevin. So Kevin actually took inspiration from Fermilab, which is in Chicagoland area and is a particle accelerator. So you can tell your family and friends when you come visit us that you got to climb in a sculpture inspired by a particle accelerator, which is pretty neat. Particle accelerator. Okay, I'm gonna climb on up. I need to use 2 hands, 2 feet. That's what we're talking about. It's nice to have a helmet on. And I'm gonna climb through the space. My camera might be a little bit wiggly. I can't hold on to it right now. Here we go. And here we are in this, oh, beautiful blue space too. So you can probably see that on my camera. Come back up over here. There you go. Liz, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, it's so fun.
So another really neat thing about Cloudbuster, yes, climbing is amazing, but there's lots of little, what we like to call surprises or gems in the space. So as you look, probably a little bit hard to see now, friends, but as you look, there are some places where I see all these little miniature clocks. I see some ducks over there. I see another orange whisper tube so I can talk to some people down below. So as you climb through the space, really take a moment and look and pause. I definitely am appreciating, Liz, that we're taking a pause right now.
Yeah.
In the space. So I talked about lookouts. There's definitely a lookout over here. This is one of our lower lookouts. And then I'm super excited about right here. If you look up,
Wow.
there is this big tube that actually overhangs Navy Pier. So Liz, what do you think? Would you like to come up here with me, or what do you think? What are you gonna do?
Thank you, Kim, for asking me, because the route that you're about to take tends to be a little bit more scary. And, you know, I think today I might opt for the less high up one. So I think I'm going to take the other route.
Okay, so Liz is going to go another route. I am going to try this route, and that's what we're talking about with choices. So Liz has her choice, I have my choice. That's totally fine. Before I climb up there, I just really want you to show off this lookout. So again, you can see what in Navy Pier is called the Family Pavilion. So there's a lot of cool stuff for the family in the pier in this area. And there's also, it's called the Crystal Gardens. So if you look ahead, you can see all these beautiful trees, and it's kind of like a conservatory, small one that is open all year round. So when we're open, you're welcome to check out that space as well. So I am going to start climbing up here. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit so everyone can kind of see the climb. Oh, wrong way. The cool thing is when you are doing the Cloudbuster, you don't have to wear a camera while doing this. We do suggest that if you are going the Cloudbuster, you have all your hands, all your feet ready to climb. So if you have bags or a cell phone, leave them down below. We have some cubbies that you can stick those in. Oh, another question that people have asked: how old do you have to be in the space? If you can, try to wear a helmet. If you want to climb, we say give it a try. It's kind of up to you. Okay, here we go, up the space. And yes, I am definitely using all my hands, all my feet. I'm using some knees here too. So again, it's really up to you, friends, if you want to do this space. And you can see how high up I am. I have done this climb a few times this past couple days, so I'm getting used to it. Anyone who's been working from home and wants to get a workout, good to work out too. Oh, Liz, I see you up there. Hello. I'm coming up. I would say this is our like last lookout. So we got 3 beautiful lookouts. This is our highest as well. Here I come.
You did it, Kim.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I definitely want to show all our friends our lookout over here. So yeah, so again, we're 2.5 stories up now in terms of the Cloudbuster, but we're a lot higher in terms of the Family Pavilion at Navy Pier. And you know, we're so up high that our little, we like to call it our little house right here, we can't have a lawn on the ground, so we stuck the lawn on the walls. So we're making it happen. We need that green space in there. And I'm gonna keep my
keep your mic on.
Keep my mic on. Okay. Thank you. It's great to work with the team.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go inside the house here, get a little bit of view of that. Whew, friends. We are doing pretty good with time. I just want to thank all of you for sticking with us. We got to play in Zoom room, play with physical science. So we were making observations, making predictions, and reflecting on that. You got to do a tour with Peter of our new Simple Machines sculpture. Again, we invite you to check us out because we'll be asking for some help to name that pretty soon. And then you got to climb with Liz and I. We hope you come in and get your own physical daring workout with your own choices in our Cloudbuster. So Liz, anything else you would like to add before we sign off? Okay, Liz is going to add something.
Something I thought about too is that if any of our friends that attended today come to the museum in the future, they might see you or myself here at the museum. So I usually hang out in the art studio making art with people, and Kim is sometimes there, and Kim is mostly where?
So I'm also in our tinkering lab space. So if you think about STEM, so that's science, technology, engineering, math, if you want reflections, great place to come as well. Again, thank you guys all for joining us. There might be some little questions in the chat. We're going to turn our mics off, but if you want to view us climbing down the Cloudbuster, you can. And again, I know Natalie is furiously typing any Q&As that come up as well. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Au revoir. Goodbye. Adios. Saitien. Arrivederci.
Okay. I'm going to think I've been.
Okay, well, thank you to our new friends at the Chicago Children's Museum, who so graciously took us through that tour today. I'm watching her kind of slide down and it's making me kind of dizzy. Thank you guys also for hanging out with us today. They did a great job with their camera work. COVID has brought plenty of new challenges for all of us, and I think they did a great job with what we have bringing us through the museum, and I'm really excited to go and visit when they reopen, hopefully this summer. If you guys have questions and you're still hanging around, feel free to put them in the Q&A. We have a few more minutes that will stick around and answer those for you. Let's see. Otherwise, there will be a short survey that you can fill out after I end the webinar, and a recording of this program will go up on AAPLD's YouTube channel within the next couple of days. Let's see if we have anything here. Okay. So if any of our CCM staff are listening, so I think lots of people probably want to know what else the museum offers. Can you guys talk a little bit about the different areas that you guys have there?
Well, hello. It is Kim and myself again. So the museum and Zoom room, we have Play It Safe, a fire play safety area. We have a giant fire engine. It's super fun. Then we also have, oh gosh, Skyline, where you can build skyscrapers. And then maybe you can tell, I'm a little breathless. Oh, it's facing the other way, so it was all right.
Oh, I'm taking things off out of Liz's hands. So we have Skyline Exhibit. We have our have those really littles, like 5 and under. That's a great place to bring them. So we do have, so we mentioned 3 exhibits out of over 10 that we have at the museum. So this was just like a small sneak peek.
And we have a whole other floor. So we were only on 1 floor today and not even the whole floor. So you only saw about half of the first floor of the museum, and the second floor is even bigger.
So Treehouse Trails, which is, I like to say it's like a little kid version of a camping night out.
Yes.
With a little cabin as well. I like camping, I'm not a camping. And then we have Kidstown, probably understand what that is. So it's me, grocery store, ride the CTA bus, be a bus driver, do a car wash. So there's many things to do in that Kidstown space as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful question. Thank you for
great question.
I asked that question.
Thank you, guys. Okay. So at this time, we're going to wrap things up. Again, thank you so much for attending today's program. I want to remind you guys that cultural institutions like the Chicago Children's Museum and all of the others that we visited on our virtual tour series are made possible by the support of their communities. So please keep that in mind. Visit them online for updates on when they'll be reopening, and I'm sure that they have plenty of information on the different exhibits that they house online as well for you guys to check out. All right. Well, thank you guys all for attending. Thank you again to the staff at Chicago Children's Museum. I think everybody had a lot of fun, as did I, and I hope to see you all again soon. Everybody have a good day.